Hello YouTube, Kaitlyn here, and do you treat yourself with kindness? Alright guys, so I've been thinking about self-esteem recently because despite the positive and encouraging things I try to say to you guys, I'm not always the best person with cultivating my own personal self-esteem. I can be very negative to myself, and then I'm like, I wonder why my self-esteem is so low. It's like, well, maybe it's because you're so mean to yourself. That might be why. And I bet a lot of you guys do the same thing. So that's a problem, right? We need to be kind to ourselves. We need to build ourselves up. We need to encourage our own self-esteem. But how do we do that when we get stuck in this really negative cycle? One of the illustrations that my pastor had in a sermon recently was about sowing of seeds. And even if you're a Christian or not, you've probably heard this idea of like you sow seeds into other people, and like if you sow a seed of kindness into a person, then kindness will grow there, because the idea is that obviously if you like plant an apple tree seed, then an apple tree is going to grow. You're going to get apples. The point my pastor was making is to sow seeds of kindness and faithfulness and generosity into other people, and then that would kind of come to fruition in them. But I started thinking about, what if we were to sow seeds of kindness in ourselves? Because then doesn't that mean that kindness is going to grow from within us, which is good, because we need kindness within ourselves, because we can be the kindest people, meaning we are kind and generous and loving to all kinds of people outside from ourselves, but then we can be so mean and awful to our own selves. And it doesn't even connect sometimes, because I've seen some of the nicest people have the worst and lowest self-esteem and have the worst self-talk that I've ever heard. I think many times we forget how important it is to be positive to ourselves. We tear ourselves down so much. I mean, that's just kind of part of society. It's, we are self-deprecating because that's funny, and we can, make people laugh, and we're a comedian and all of that stuff. But eventually, if you do that so much, you stop being able to have positive self-talk. And then that means you might start believing all those awful things you've been saying about yourself. I think an example of that for me is that I'm very self-deprecating, and I have pretty negative self-talk about how bad I am with interacting with other people. I have a lot of social anxiety. And I tend to try to make a joke out of it when I tell people about it, because it just seems really bad to me. But I may have done it so much and been so negative to myself that now my brain is kind of like, oh, well, there's no point in even trying to have a conversation with this stranger, because you're just terrible at interacting, and you have too horrible social anxiety. So I'm stopping myself from trying to even get better at the things that I have been bad at in the past, which then just lowers my self-esteem. So I'm wondering if you guys do something similar in your life and you are not kind to yourself. We need to be kind to ourselves and sow seeds of kindness in our soul, so that kindness will grow, so that we can be more kind. And kindness is so important. Tell me what you think down in the comments. How are you struggling with being kind to yourself and building up your own self-esteem? Plus, remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe if this video made you smile. See you guys next Thursday. It's really bright right here. You guys like my little Funko Pop collection? I got them all over the place. Yes.